Hello, universe. How has your weekend been going? So yesterday, when I was on here, I think I talked... Well, no, I know what I talked about. I talked about how I find it a little almost insincere where certain vloggers say things like, "We love you," and the whole thing. And I think I was on my, well, let's see if I can put this the right way without being offensive to women. Well, it really doesn't have anything to do with it. I was just being a jerk. It's really the end-all be-all of it. I was a jerk, and I'm not sure where it came from, honestly. You know, I was being straight about certain things. I do think you have to be careful with your words in certain situations because you don't want to give people the wrong impression. But for my part, I think... Well, no, I don't think. I know I need to understand better what certain people have gone through. The challenge with something like the vlogumentary that Shay Carl did, which if I didn't talk about it yesterday, Shay Carl revealed his collaborative documentary called Vlogumentary with the people at VidCon yesterday. And the original title was "I'm Vlogging Here" because it's something that Shay Carl says almost at the beginning of every video that he does on the Shaytards channel. And I thought, or I think that "I'm Vlogging Here" is more personal and relatable. And it also has legs, which means exposure, and people who watch YouTube, a lot of people who watch YouTube are very aware of where that comes from. And maybe that's part of the reason Shay Carl decided to take it away from "I'm Vlogging Here," because he suspected that people would think that the documentary was more about him versus being about a lot of other YouTubers, because there's a lot of YouTubers who participate. Shay Carl, Charles Trippy, the Vlog Brothers, you know, all those guys. Well, you know, a lot of people participate. And so maybe that's why they went away from that title. I still think it's a more relatable title and seems a little more personal, which is what YouTube really offers the opportunity to do. And I think vlogumentary is... I'm not entirely sure. It just doesn't sit well in my stomach, but who cares what I think? I'm just one person's opinion. If, you know, 100,000 people told him that they liked "I'm Vlogging Here" better, then maybe they would change it back. Or if they have another title in mind and 100,000 people got behind it, maybe they would go with that. But I'm rambling here. Didn't even turn on my alarm. Set an alarm for 10 minutes from now. So anyways, okay, so I thought it was, I think it was, when I was watching the video, I was thinking to myself, you know, they throw together a lot of lines and it's like a trailer for any movie. And in that way it's almost distant from being personal in a way. Because it's a trailer, and trailers are the roller coaster concepts or the height of the roller coaster concept when it comes to storytelling. But aside from that, they had some pretty good music on it. I know that We Are Kings. Is it We Are Kings or We the Kings? I can't remember the name of his band. They have a couple of good songs, actually. But they're supporting each other, and that's great. I just feel like, how do I say I feel like? Yesterday I just got this impression and had this feeling that you have to be careful with words because you can mislead people, and certain people can devise the wrong impressions. And maybe it was some weird form of bitterness or something on my part, because I believe people can tell you they love you and they don't necessarily mean it. And I don't necessarily know if they mean they love you in vlogs when they say they love you. I honestly think they care about you, but love is a very overused word, like I said. But one of the things that did occur was, after I saw that, I spent a lot of time working on paperwork, and I play things in the background while I'm working. And if you're not a follower of Shaytards, then you may not know that a little over a year ago, and I've only been following the Shaytards for probably about 4 or 5 months now. But at one point they had a dog named Malachi. He was a brown Great Dane, where their newer dog, Zeke, is a sort of a blonde Great Dane. Well, he is a blonde Great Dane. Well, Malachi unfortunately passed away, and they had a whole vlog called Our Friend Malachi, or Malachi Our Friend, and they put it out there. It gave me a new level of respect for what they show, because they had their dog for almost 9 years, from the time he was a pup. He was older than any of their kids at that time, and they had this connection, and they gave a very relatable story for people who've lost their pets. And I thought it took a lot of courage to share that kind of experience, because many people will withdraw and will withdraw and not really discuss it. They avoid their feelings, and they put it out there. They showed you them saying goodbye and telling Malachi that they loved him. You saw Shay. And one of the things interesting about it was, if you look at a lot of Shay Carl's videos, or the Shaytards videos, over the course of the last 4 years, and I don't watch every episode or anything like that, I don't have that convenience of time, but when I find certain episodes that are interesting, I sort of skip to the one a year ago or whatever. And Shay has really put himself out there in ways. And in ways I suppose I'm going to stop using non-committal words like suppose, or like, sort of. Those are non-committal words. Shay put himself out there. And I am jealous of his positivity in a way. Believe it or not. I'm actually jealous of his positivity, and I consider myself to be, most of the time, positive, although realistic, about things. And I really admire his positive attitude. I admire the way he shows his family. Now, I have not seen all of the videos. He's done like 15 or 1,600 some odd videos, so it's not conceivable I would have seen all of them. But in the ones I've seen, you don't see him yelling at his kids. And I think that's just a part of life, that you yell at your kids, because no one is able to avoid frustration at all costs. It's just not realistic. And I think it's relatable to say, you're frustrating me right now, I'm trying to do this and you're making god-awful noise, and I need you to quiet down and to be the parent. Most of what I see is them, happy and joking, and them ignoring when they kind of, especially the youngest one, sort of goes off and starts screaming. And then there's things where they do things that are a little wild. And I think parents, I think I would like to see that. Because for the most part, they seem to handle their children and treat their children fairly well, I think. I don't know for a fact exactly what happens when they're not on camera. But that's why I would like to see the honesty of that situation, where they sort of share that experience, because I think people can relate to it. And then if you see someone like Shay and Colette, who are pretty admirable people as far as the couple is concerned, they have 5 kids, they're still seemingly very affectionate toward one another. I think they're a great example. So to see them interacting with their kids, not only in a happy manner, but also showing them, hey, if you do something wrong, we need to talk about it. You don't want to do that. Because it's a great document of life that people can experience. And I really admire it. It also really gets me into a place where I want to start doing more true concept vlogs. These are vlogs, but these are, discussion points and things that we can talk about as a group. But I would like to have those memories of different adventures and experiences that I have and share them with people. Like, I had something happen the other day that I haven't talked about on the vlogs, on the vids so far, and that is right there the other day. I can't see much right there, but I was laying on my bed and I leaned over to pick something up, and I jammed the left side of my mouth into the corner of a dresser right at about this tooth level. And my tooth has pain in it, but I don't know if it's